A number of years ago, I had the fortune of purchasing 5 of these Dell Mini9 laptops. At the time, these were kind of an amazing little thing, as they were pretty much the first, or one of the first, solid-state netbooks out on the market. At least one that could do something, anything, unlike, previous Windows CE, and really didn't have, I think iPad was just coming out. There really weren't any Android anythings at the time. I want to say 2008. Well, these were great. They had 4, 8, or 16 gigs of solid-state memory, and anywhere from 512 to 2 gigs of RAM, and they could run either Ubuntu or Windows XP. Featured a 1.6 gigahertz Intel Atom processor with hyperthread. By today's standards, that's dead slow, but don't get me wrong, these things work great. Well, fast forward, I'd given one to my mom, my aunt, I had one, I sold 2 others. Well, my aunt never used hers, so I sold that one, and I paid $99 a piece for these, and I actually resold them, and that was straight from Dell. Dell had them on their site for $99, but people loved them so much I was able to resell them for about $300 a pop. And it really is. If Dell would come out with something that had the same features as one of these, that would be great. But let's get down to the point. What I use this for is, well, my internet here at home is very slow. So, when I want to upload some of my massive YouTube videos, and considering I'm filming at 4K, Ultra HD 4K, at 100 megabit per second, that really adds up storage-wise and upload-wise. Well, these little things, not counting if the battery was dead, I mean, if it's charging the battery, it'll draw more. But in general, even while uploading a video to YouTube, one of these little buggers draws about 5 watts. So, costs practically nothing to operate. And it's even got a little SD card, so I'd shove an SD card in there with the video I want to upload, and off it goes. So, 5 watts, even less. I mean, I can even... the CPU speed steps, so it can turn its processor down a bit, and I mean this thing draws nothing while it's uploading. It's got Wi-Fi, and it's even got it's got Ethernet, VGA out, 3 USB ports, headphone, earphone jack, microphone spot, and built-in SD card slot. And that's about it. It weighs nothing too. It weighs about as much as my iPad, well, at least without the battery. So I'd shove this places that had faster internet, namely my parents' house, but I've been finding a few others around. Well, problem being, the battery had met its planned obsolescence, so when Dell had pre-programmed and decided that the battery would no longer hold a charge, that's when it would no longer hold a charge. Some of you will remember I opened the original battery up in one of my previous videos last year, and I tested all 4 cells, which tested absolutely spectacular. Almost hold as much power as they did when this laptop was new. The cells are absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, laptop will not work without a battery in the slot, so I kept this one, and now it just kind of, I'd have to close the top, but it just kind of sits in there and it looks ugly and dangerous. I've tried a number of replacement batteries. Dell no longer carries this battery. Once in a while they'll have an inventory of them, but they're expensive. The last time I saw one from Dell, it was $80 for the battery for this netbook, when I only paid $99 for the whole netbook with Windows, XP, everything, battery, so on and so forth. Well, so far all I've been finding were these $12 batteries on both eBay and Amazon, and the laptop would always run on them, but it would never charge them, and it would always throw errors saying that batteries were no good and could not communicate. So, and I opened one up. Instead of being 4 cells, they were only 3, and they were overvolting them. So I finally found this one. It was $22, which was, still a little more than I wanted to spend on a, let's see, 6, 7, 8-year-old netbook. But, I mean, this thing still works great. And for what I use it for, all it's got to do is chug along day and night uploading videos. Well, I was on Amazon and I got this one. And it's for the Mini9 series. This says 2600 milliamp hours, which it is not. I actually did open this up and I wanted to test it already. There's the SKU. It's by BRTONG, which is very professional laptop battery. Of course, the lithium explosion warning, so on and so forth. So I figured, what the heck? The reviews look good. Why not give it a try? And you know what? It actually worked, and it was recognized by the laptop. Before I pop it in, though, since, oh boy, we watch a laptop turn on. One major nice thing about this one is it's programmed different. And I could pop it up. They didn't glue the tops on. So it's got 4 generic cells. I was not able to find, I took it out, did not find any markings on the cells to tell me who the manufacturer of them were. It's got the little board there. I'm not going to take it all out. It was kind of a pain. But one thing I did do is I had some other old leftover laptop cells, and I carefully disconnected these cells, and I tested it with some other cells. And I did the same thing to my original battery. This one is all soldered together instead of welded. This one was welded. But I had done the same thing to my old one last year, and it was all in the circuitry. It would not let me charge or use my old battery. Once that smart memory board said, no, we're done, that's when it was done. This one, I disconnected these cells and I replaced them. And you know what? It recognized the new cells, no problem. So hopefully this one doesn't have pre-programmed memory, but given the style construction that it is, and I soldered it back together, I don't have a micro welder that is used for lithium cells, which is fine. It means when these batteries are finally no good and the laptop doesn't hold a charge, I should be able to replace just the cells. So buy it for once, buy it for life. So that's it. Let's put the cover back on. Boot her up. And what I'd really like to do is when I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for the kids to finish school, the school's got 40 megabit symmetrical fiber optics up and down. So that means my YouTube videos would upload in about 5 to 10 minutes instead of a day at my parents' house or a week and a half at my house. We're not plugged in yet. And Windows is booting up. While that is booting, let's just go over what else is in the package. Happy! Unhappy. If you're happy, we're just happy that you're happy. If you don't know how to express your newfound happiness, we got a few suggestions, and it tells you how to give feedback. Now, this is a Chinese company, so it's got the Chinese email address, so if you're sending an email from Gmail, chances are it will not arrive since China blocks Google at this time. If you're unhappy, hassle-free service will work hard to put a smile back on your face. Here's how we can connect. You got to email them, but there's an asterisk. We are only able to offer returns and exchanges for orders placed through BRTONG. I can't pronounce it. Whatever the company's name is. If you buy this on Amazon, link is in the video description below. You will not be able to contact them. Instead, contact, do your standard Amazon. Oh, and this is Amazon Prime. And there's a user manual for the battery, safety, storage. And we're finally booted up. Let's see. I'm not used to actually physically using this laptop. Usually I just pop the memory card in, and everything else I do remote desktop through TeamViewer. And it's got all these little troubleshooting steps. Well, anyways, battery monitor. We can actually see some information from the batteries, circuitry. Let's Zoom in just a wee. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so current status, it is charging, and it's currently charging at 33 watts. That's pretty fast. It thinks the manufacturer is Dell, probably because it had to be a hacked circuit board on the or PCB on the battery, so that way the computer would recognize it. 11 Dell's unique ID. Normal operation, rechargeable, yes. Lithium ion, design capacity. Alright. Well, remember, this was supposed to be a 2600 milliamp hours or 2.6 amp hour battery. This program is reporting that it is only a 2.329, so 2,329 milliamp hours. That's what its design capacity is. However, its fully charged capacity is 2,379 milliamp hours, or that would technically get rounded up to 2.4 amp hours or 2,400 milliamp hours. So this is a 200 milliamp hour less capacity than what was advertised on the box. Before you get all up in a jumble, that was to be expected. Almost every battery manufacturer overstates their battery capacity. And just as an example, if I can get this stupid thing unscrewed, just as an example, this junk Ultrafire says 3,600 milliamp hours. It is actually only 700 milliamp hours, just as an example. So fully charged, 2.4 amp hours. Current capacity, 1975 milliamp hours. Alert levels. Current voltage is 16.523. It is the laptop is 14.8 volts nominal, so that would be correct. And the charge rate is still at, well, let's refresh. There we go. Not too bad. So, as long as we're at it, let's see. Don't want to make this video too long. Why don't we just shut down? I'm going to switch batteries. This laptop will not let me do it without shutting off first. Let's put the factory OEM battery in. Make sure I get that thermal probe back on there. This is really a weird-ass battery that they put together here. Windows is shutting down. Yippee. So, winner, chicken dinner. Plastic coloring isn't quite the same, but that's no big deal. Alright, so we got the original battery and doesn't turn on. Power in. Eventually the little orange battery light will start blinking, meaning battery's junk. It won't turn on without the cord. There we go. Oh, my Windows XP, how you just worked. Not like this Windows 8, Windows 10, garbage. Alright, now this is the factory OEM battery. 0%. Time remaining, it's on AC power. No operation. Oh, wow, look at that. Original design capacity was supposed to be 2.8 amp hours. Full charge capacity. Wow, this circuit board isn't even reporting correctly anymore. It says it's supposed to be 55. Let's see, I can't read that. Yeah, 55 amp hours. Yeah, that'll never happen. It says this laptop isn't a freaking Tesla. Well, it won't charge anymore, so this has depleted. Now, I did manually charge up using a special computerized lithium cell charger. I did manually charge up all 4 cells in this pack and had the voltage up to about 16, and the laptop would still not do anything about it. So that is all, everyone. If you need a good laptop battery for your Dell Mini9, which is becoming so hard to find one that works, follow the link in the video description for this one. It is a great cell. And runtime was pretty much comparable to the OEM factory one. There are some 8-cell extended ones, which stick out and actually lift up the bottom of the laptop. Skip those. I mean, unless you're going to run all day without plugging in, it's not needed. Salute.